Živijo.
Živijo.
Zdravo.
Dober dan, zdravo.
Zdravo.
Katja, smo že zbrani? Aha, v redu. Lepo pozdravljeni. Na današnji predstavitvi. Lep pozdrav vsem kolegom in kolegicam v tej naši spletni sestankovalnici. Potem bom posebej pozdravila še naše kolege v Benetkah. Torej, moje ime je Ksenija Vidmar Horvat, tukaj sem danes v vlogi prorektorice, ki pomagam pri aktivnostih v povezavi z sodelovanjem v tej mreži VIU. Hkrati sem pa bila lansko leto tudi gostujoča predavateljica na tem programu, tako da sem v dvojni vlogi. Sicer to področje vodi prorektor kolega Boštjan Markoli, glavna koordinatorka in pa glava, bi rekla, sodelovanja in organizacije in koordinacije pa je kolegica Katja Cerar, ki je tudi organizirala današnji dogodek. Torej, jaz vas vse prav lepo pozdravljam in upam, da se boste po današnji predstavitvi še toliko bolj jasno odločili za sodelovanje v tej mreži, mednarodni mreži univerz, ki je sestavljena iz prestižnih članic, med katere sodi tudi Univerza v Ljubljani. Zelo na kratko bi samo izpostavila, da je to sodelovanje za nas pomembna oblika mednarodnega povezovanja. Za vsakega posameznika in posameznico, ki vstopi v ta program kot predavatelj, predavateljica, pa je to tudi izjemna priložnost, karierna priložnost za pridobivanje novih izkušenj, bodisi v smislu didaktičnih pristopov, bodisi v smislu sodelovanja v mednarodno zelo bogati skupnosti, zelo zavzetih, ambicioznih, motiviranih študentov in študentk, in tudi samo okolje, kjer potekajo ti programi, bodisi globalizacijski študiji, bodisi poletne šole in druge aktivnosti. Samo okolje samo je tudi izrazito stimulativno in vsekakor priporočam, da se podate na to izkušnjo prijave. Sedaj bi samo še na kratko pozdravila v angleščini naše kolege, potem bom predala besedo Katji Cerar. So my dear colleagues in Vienna, in Venice, I hope that Vienna sometimes joins us as well. Thank you very much for being with us today. This is a meeting organized by University of Ljubljana headquarters and Katja Cerar in particular, who is coordinating the activities. This meeting, the purpose of the meeting is, of course, that our potential prospective professors or researchers join the activities of the VIU, and we hope that today's presentation also on your part will further stimulate their interest and persuade them to apply for this opportunity. I hope that we can continue with our communication in this forum. So far, we think that it's very important that our professors are also have the opportunity to meet you not in person, but at least virtually, and hear about the program or the network from you as well. So thank you very much for being willing to be with us today. Katja Cerar, now I'm passing the word to you. Thank you very much.
Hvala, prorektorica. Lepo pozdravljeni še v mojem imenu. Kot je omenila prorektorica, pokrivam strokovno oziroma nudim strokovno podporo v zvezi z aktivnostmi VIU na rektoratu. Poleg tega imamo tudi kontaktne osebe na posameznih članicah. Zdaj, z nekaterimi od vas sem se srečala že tudi pri drugih aktivnosti, pokrivam namreč tudi promocijske, nekatere podporne aktivnosti za mednarodne študentke in študente in pa sodelovanje s tujimi partnerji in v okviru mrež na centralni ravni. Danes sta z nami tudi gospa Orla McLaughlin, to je izvršna direktorica akademskega programa, in gospa Ilda Manino, ki je znanstvena koordinatorka za podiplomske aktivnosti. Kolegici boste v nadaljevanju podrobneje predstavili aktivnosti VIU ter možnosti za sodelovanje učiteljic in učiteljev. Mislim pa, da se nam bo potem pridružil tudi profesor Luka Pes, ki je pa znanstveni direktor programa globalizacij. Zdaj, današnjo predstavitev bomo tudi posneli, bomo objavili na spletni strani in delili z vami. Vaša morebitna vprašanja nam lahko napišete v chat, prav tako bomo pa potem tudi na voljo za vsa vprašanja po zaključku predstavitev in pa vedno nas lahko tudi še naknadno kontaktirate v primeru dodatnih vprašanj. Zdaj bom zelo kratko jaz predstavila VIU, v nadaljevanju bosta pa Orla in Ilda potem podrobnejše predstavili aktivnosti. Zdaj, v sam konzorcij je trenutno vključenih 20 univerz iz 15 držav, 4 kontinentov. V bistvu gre za zelo dobre univerze, to so na primer Stellenbosch, Waseda, Duke, Boston College in številne druge. To predstavlja zelo odlično priložnost tudi za vas, da se na enem mestu srečate tako s predavatelji, učitelji in študenti in študentkami iz vsega sveta. Tukaj bi poudarila, da VIU združuje zelo nadarjene in motivirane študente in študentke z univerz članic VIU, aktivnosti pa potekajo v večkulturnem, mednarodnem, interdisciplinarnem okolju v Benetkah na otoku San Servolo. Zdaj, sam poudarek je na razvoju sposobnosti kritičnega razmišljanja študentov, interdisciplinarnosti in pa ustvarjalnem sprejemanju novih idej. Sama mreža je bila ustanovljena leta 1995, predtem je bil tukaj samostan, potem je bila psihiatrična bolnišnica, nato so pa nekako želeli v bistvu župan Benetk in pa rektorji univerz narediti neko kulturno središče, nek mednarodni center in tako je nastala ta ideja o VIU. Zdaj, same aktivnosti za študente so začeli izvajati leta 1997, mi smo se pa konzorciju pridružili konec leta 2018. Zdaj, kot sem omenila, VIU se nahaja na otoku San Servolo, to je v bistvu nasprotje otoka Svetega Marka, 10 minut z vaporetom, in na samem otoku so tudi namestitve za študente in učitelje, tako da če se odločite, imate možnost bivanja na samem otoku, ki je tudi cenejša varianta, vam pa na VIU pač nudijo tudi možnost bivanja v Benetkah, kar je pa seveda dražje. Zdaj, pri izvedbi vseh aktivnosti in pripravi aktivnosti VIU sodelujejo učitelji univerz, ki smo vključene v VIU. Poleg tega potekajo tudi različne mobilnosti študentov in zaposlenih. VIU omogoča tudi krajše mobilnosti doktorskih študentov in pa tudi v prihodnje je predvideno večje povezovanje članic v okviru projektov. Je pa možno tudi na samem otoku organizirati različne konference in seminarje. Tukaj smo pripravili kratek pregled, povzetek vseh aktivnosti in tudi, se pravi, način plačevanja, sofinanciranja posameznih aktivnosti. Zdaj, kot sem prej omenila, VIU nudi možnost izmenjav študentom vseh stopenj in smeri, kot tudi različne programe poletnih šol, intenzivne tematske seminarje za študente 2. in 3. stopnje, potem mednarodno doktorsko akademijo, za udeležence programa globalizacij pripravništvo v podjetjih v Italijah in pa tudi določene štipendije za nadarjene študente v okviru programa globalizacij. Zdaj, tukaj vidite, da je pri določenih aktivnostih predvidena povrnitev stroškov oziroma tudi plačilo učiteljem. To je 8500 € na semester za 2 predmeta za program globalizacij, ki je namenjen dodiplomskim in magistrskim študentom, in pa 3000 € za poletne tečaje, to pa je letošnja novost in se bodo začeli izvajati v letošnjem poletju. Zdaj sami študentje pa se lahko za določene aktivnosti prijavijo tudi na sofinanciranje v okviru programa Erasmus+. Vse aktivnosti potekajo v angleškem jeziku, v manjših skupinah, običajno je do 25 študentov ali pa celo manj. Zdaj, tukaj bi spet poudarila, to so zelo dobri študentje, so zelo motivirani in imajo tudi visoka pričakovanja, tako da je to na nek način tudi zahtevno oziroma izziv za učitelje, ki poučujejo na VIU. Gre za nekoliko drugačen način poučevanja, kakor tukaj pri nas, ker študenti, predvsem v okviru programa globalizacije, prihajajo iz zelo različnih področij, se pravi, da bodo na istem predmetu študentje politologije, umetnosti, zgodovine, ne vem, sociologije in pa prihajajo tudi iz različnih stopenj, se pravi iz dodiplomskega in magistrskega študija, tako da morate učitelji prilagajati predavanje različnemu predznanju in čim bolj se truditi vključiti vse študente. Potem pač nudijo za študente tudi možnosti različne obštudijskih dejavnosti, učenja italijanščine in podobno. Tukaj sem pripravila kraten pregled glede sodelovanja naših učiteljev v aktivnostih VIU. Vidite, da so bili dejansko prisotni skoraj v vseh semestrih v programu globalizacije od naše vključitve. Zdaj, v letošnjem zimskem obdobju je predaval na VIU dr. Kešeljevič, ki bo tudi po moji predstavitvi kratko delil potem svojo izkušnjo. V naslednjem semestru pa odhaja na VIU profesor Bohinc iz zdravstvene fakultete. Prav tako je bila v okviru poletnih aktivnosti izbrana dr. Kaminova iz fakultete za družbene vede in pa profesor Strlič iz fakultete za kemijo in kemijsko tehnologijo pa sodeluje v projektu z področja trajnostnega upravljanja kulturne dediščine na Balkanu. Zdaj, ta sestanek smo sklicali tudi s tem namenom, da bi vas povabili k pripravi in prijavi aktivnosti, ker so trenutno odprti razpisi. Konec decembra so bile namreč objavljene razpisi za pripravo predmetov oziroma aktivnosti za program globalizacij, za intenzivne seminarje, doktorske akademije, poletne in zimske šole. Zdaj na teh povezavah lahko najdete več in podrobnejše informacije, kaj je zahtevano za samo pripravo, se pa seveda lahko name oziroma na prorektorico tudi obrnete za več informacij. Bi vam pa predlagali, da pred prijavo, da se znotraj vaše članice uskladite in dogovorite z dekanom oziroma dekanjo, da se prijavljate na sam predmet in oziroma program, aktivnost, da ne bi potem bilo kakšnih zapletov pred samo izvedbo. Za sam program globalizacij smo že pripravili tudi navodila za učitelje, so dostopna na naši spletni strani in jih bomo tudi zdaj v kratkem še nekoliko posodobili, ker se pač odpirajo še nova vprašanja in bi vam želeli čim bolj olajšati oziroma pripraviti vse informacije. Zdaj tukaj čisto na koncu bi se pa želela še na vas obrniti s prošnjo za informiranje študentov in študentk glede aktivnosti VIU. Če bi bili zainteresirani, me lahko tudi kontaktirate, pa se lahko dogovorimo za kratko, na primer 15-minutno predstavitev znotraj vaših predavanj. Zdaj tukaj sem dodala še spletno stran, tukaj je prva povezava je uradna spletna stran, na UL pa smo pripravili tudi spletno stran v slovenskem jeziku in smo nekako razdelili informacije, ki so posebej vezane za študente in študentke, učitelje in učitelje. Lahko se prijavite tudi na e-novičnik, najdete informacije glede partnerjev, tudi vtise študentov in pa tukaj je še najin kontakt s prorektorico in se lahko na naju obrnete za več informacij. Tako da to bi bilo iz moje strani vse. Zdaj bi pa predala besedo dr. Kešeljeviču, da še kratko deli z nami svojo izkušnjo.
Dobro jutro še z moje strani. Sem ugotovil, da sem bil glih mutan, tako da se slišimo dobro, me slišite, ne? Tako da mislim, da je zdaj v redu, ne? Najprej srečno, ne, v tem letošnjem letu, da ne bi pozabil na začetku. Lep pozdrav Luki, lep pozdrav Orli, v Benetke, mojim kolegom z VIA-juja. Se pravi, mene je Katja prosila, če na kratko predstavim mojo izkušnjo na Beneški univerzi. Jaz moram reči, da jaz sem v tem semestru med septembrom in decembrom tam predaval 2 predmeta. En je bil globalizacija, razvoj in blaginja, drugi je bil pa ekonomika in management v kulturi. Kar se tiče mogoče same družbe ali pa sodelavcev tam, se pravi, prihajajo profesorji iz celotne mreže, iz dobrih univerz, se pravi, tam smo, dajmo temu reči, v dobri družbi. Se pravi, naši študentje so v dobri družbi, to so eminentne univerze, kot je Duke, kot je Tel Aviv, Waseda University, Leuven iz Belgije. Se pravi, dobre univerze, prihajajo dobri študentje, ambiciozni študentje, ki vejo, zakaj so tam. To je mogoče nekoliko različno tudi včasih od tega, kar smo vajeni doma. Se pravi, prisotnost na predavanjih je obvezna, ker je tudi ena razlika recimo od Ljubljanske univerze. So zelo ambiciozni, mogoče največji izziv za mene je bil, kako to heterodoksnost obvladovati v razredu. Se pravi, imate študente dodiplomske in podiplomske ravni, prihajajo iz različnih univerz, iz različnih smeri, imajo pa neko skupno točko, da so zelo ambiciozni, zelo delavni in da z njimi enostavno je lahko delati, dajmo temu tako reči. Kar se tiče profesorskih kolegov, ker so vsi v isti poziciji, ker smo vsi prišli iz teh članic mreže, so vsi izredno odprti, tudi možnost kakšnega nadaljnjega sodelovanja, kakšne prijave, kakšne bilaterale se tukaj odpirajo, tako da tudi z tega vidika ali pa znanstveno-raziskovalnega sodelovanja se mi zdi, da je dodana vrednost. Administracija, se pravi Luka, Orla, Kristina, izredno profesionalni, majhen tim, tailor-made approach, se pravi, so se sposobni prilagajati, če pride do kakšnih čudnih situacij, še posebej v covidu. Mi smo imeli predavanje v živo, imeli smo predavanje online, imeli smo blended, kar pomeni, ni bilo, da ni bilo, ampak moram reči, da profesionalen stav njihov omogoča, je v bistvu pedagogu izrazito pomagajo in mislim, da imajo dosti stopinj prostosti, da se zmenite z njimi, če prihaja do kakšnih izzivov ali pa težav ali pa česarkoli. Moje izkušnje z njimi so v glavnem pozitivne, s celo šolo, z študenti, s kolegi. Konec koncev kampus je na čudoviti lokaciji na otoku, ki je 5 minut stran ali pa 10 minut stran oddaljen s tem vodnim taksijem. Lahko bivate na otoku, lahko bivate kjerkoli v mestu, se pravi, tudi tukaj je stopnja fleksibilnosti ustrezno visoka, glede na aranžma, ki ga boste imeli. Tako da moram reči, in na koncu bivate v muzeju, in živite v muzeju, kar konec koncev tudi ni tako nepomembna stvar. Se pravi, cela okolica, enostavno celo mesto je v doživetju konec koncev tudi sam po sebi. Tako da mogoče na kratko z moje strani, če bo imeli moji kolegi še kakšno vprašanje, sem jaz tukaj, da odgovorim ali pa da po najboljši možni meri poskušam odgovoriti, ampak mogoče to za začetek bodi dovolj, bi rekel.
Hvala, dr. Kešeljević. Zdaj bom pa predala besedo sodelavcem iz VIU, ki bodo pa podrobnejše predstavili posamezne aktivnosti, razpise in pa možnosti za sodelovanje. In predstavitev bo seveda zdaj naprej potekala v angleškem jeziku. So now I would like to invite the VIU representatives, Ms. Orla McLaughlin, to present possibilities for the University of Ljubljana teachers within the VIU network.
Thank you very much, Katja, and thank you to both Katja Cerar and Professor Wiedmar Horvath for inviting us to present to the faculty, the teaching staff at the University of Ljubljana. We're very pleased to have this opportunity. And from my very limited Slovene, I understand that Katja has given an overview of VIU. So I will move on directly. Well, I mentioned just that our mission is to create international, transdisciplinary and multicultural opportunities for education. Here in the picture is a photo of our campus in Venice, 10 minutes by boat from San Marco. And the intention is to cultivate the exchange of knowledge and ideas, and we do this through the joint programs. So VIU can be defined as a place for international, interdisciplinary and intercultural learning, teaching and research cooperation. And our globalization program is characterized certainly by these key words. We have 2 semesters each year, both lasting 15 weeks, and students from bachelor and master's courses in the member universities can participate. We have about 150 students each semester, with over 20 nationalities represented. We have 20 universities in the membership from 14 countries, but we have a much higher number of nationalities represented, and this is a reflection of the internationalization of education globally. So many students are now traveling to different countries to take their undergraduate degrees. The students have the opportunity to choose from 25 to 30 courses. They're all taught through English, with 3 hours of classes per week and 6 ECTS. So a full workload for students is 5 courses, but they may take fewer if this is permitted by their home university. So what do we teach? The courses are broadly in the humanities and social sciences, and these are the core topics and the specialization tracks. We introduced in the past academic year 4 new specialization tracks to further characterize the program and strengthen the identity and the focus of the activities of the IU. So Italy is, of course, a natural choice as our core for our core courses. Through these courses, students critically analyze Venetian and Italian life, culture, art, and history. The Cultures of the World cluster of courses examine various cultures from a comparative perspective. And the idea here is to bring the diversity of the student body into the classroom as a teaching and learning resource. So students can bring both their disciplinary background but also their cultural background to the discussion. Global challenges, this is also a opportune choice for Venice International University. These are issues that the world is facing today that are going to require solutions that are interdisciplinary and global, and not developed within single disciplines or geographic areas. Cultural heritage is a specialization track that we have had for many years, and it's more specifically economics, management, and digital technologies applied to cultural heritage. And Professor Kozeljevic, who I also thank for being here today, taught courses also in this cluster. Science and society aims to explore critically the role and impact of science, technology and innovation within society, and conversely how society, politics and culture can affect scientific research and innovation. Citizen science is also a feature of this track. History and memory was introduced to offer opportunities to develop an up-to-date understanding of history, historical research and consciousness, collective and individual memory, and their ethical and political implications. So these 3 are offered in the first semester. The first semester runs from September to December every year. In the second semester, there are also three tracks offered. The first is on sustainable development, and the aim is to develop an awareness of sustainability concepts and issues applied to the environment and to the economy. This was further developed, and we introduced the Cities and Globalization track, which is compatible area of study for the students related to the sustainable development, but it's more specifically on cities as places where human activities are concentrated, and as the chief causes of anthropogenic global change, providing students with a critical view of the nature of cities and social, economic, and political global change. And then environmental humanities is a term that has emerged to capture previously existing connections and conjunctions across philosophy, history, eco-criticism, geography, and anthropology, but it also seeks to integrate debates from different disciplinary contexts. So this is a new track where there's really a lot of scope for interdisciplinary investigation. So for students, the outcomes are that they expand their capacity for critical thinking and have a new approach to studying across disciplines, learning from with professors from across the world. So each semester, every university sends a professor to teach 2 courses in the globalization program. Now, on the globalization program teaching experience, I would invite Luca Pes to bring his contribution now. Luca, are you connected? Luca Pes is the Vice Dean of Venice International University and the Scientific Director of the globalization program. And he coordinates the faculty each semester.
Okay, thank you, Orla. Thank you, everybody, dear colleagues. It's very nice to see you. Nice to see you, Ksenia. Thanks to you, Alexander. I mean, yes, okay. I mean, Orla already said something that is useful to understand in which ways, what can VIU offer to students. I'm going to say something about what is VIU offering to professors. Since VIU, it's not a university, but it's a consortium. And this implies that students and professors are exactly on the same page in the sense that they are all temporary and in the same condition of being very often in a completely new situation. The kind of student body which we have in our classes is a student body which brings in full all possible diversities. The students come from different disciplines. They are both undergraduate and postgraduate. They are of different age. They have, they possess many different each one has a different, many native languages are represented in the class. And their academic background is different in the sense that they live in different academic traditions and they bring different expectations about student life. They come from different disciplines and they come from different cultures. I mean, it's true that education has gone through a process of internationalization, but the kind of diversity which we had at VIU, where, by the way, students continue to abide to the rule of their home universities, for example, in terms of credit recognition, in terms also, so they might have different motivation when studying in class. The difference is much higher, much more radical at VIU, and this, of course, implies that we often have to rethink our topic because we have to cater to students who may be of our discipline and students who know nothing about our discipline, who may know something about the context. For example, if you teach Renaissance art, you may have students who know who the Madonna is, who Jesus Christ is, and some students who do not know because they come from an Asian context. So we need to provide the students classes which are challenging for everybody and also for the more advanced students, but also that are accessible to the students who know nothing about our topic. This is a very interesting, I mean, since I started to teach in this context, I had to somehow to adapt my topic and also to relocate because you have a world, you have the world represented in the class, and somehow you understand that our disciplinary perspective and is sometimes biased, maybe to Euro-centered and so on. So this is has been for many of my colleagues and for myself a continuously refreshing moment for rethinking also certain contents of the course. As Orla was saying, this is also provides great opportunities in class, because the presence of students of different disciplines allows to engage in different perspectives, to open interesting windows and approaches. For example, I may have in my class, I teach history of Venice, I may have in my class some students in law, and they may do a presentation on the legal system of ancient Venice. So they bring their own disciplinary knowledge into the class, and this, and of course, we also have different students from different geographic areas, and so they also can also bring the experience of their own country. For example, in a gender studies course, you may have a Japanese doing a presentation on marriage relations in Japan or whatever, and you and so you start to ignite some processes of peer-to-peer transmission of knowledge and experience and approaches, which is very productive, because at VIU generally the students continue to talk about the topics of the classes also out of class, because it involves them somehow personally, and they can bring their personal experience. They see that their own life experience can be useful, and their own itinerary can be useful and be useful for the community. The classes are relatively small at VIU. The average is about 12, 13 per class. We have also a cap of 21, and this, of course, makes interaction very strong. At VIU is a place where professors know the names of the students, and we encourage interaction between students and professors also out of class. And the other thing that VIU offers is Venice, of course, and we encourage a lot of co-curricular activities, and we encourage also courses to be to use Venice as a fieldwork, and that is going to be the thing which unites students and professors most, is to have a Venetian experience, an experience in a place which contains a lot of contradictions, a lot of conflicts about the presence, because Venice is not only about romanticism and art. It's much more. It's about pollution, a polluted environment, an environment which is under stress because of climate, because of climate change, because of environmental crisis. It is under a lot of pressure because of over tourism. So it's a splendid place to be used for our classes. And then the last thing I want to say is the colleagues. I mean, we try to encourage interaction among colleagues. We have also a workshop every semester in which we try to break borders between classes, and we basically supervise students and also contribute ourselves in discussing one single topic, which this semester was Venice, but previous semester was about the environment and democracy, and that is interesting because there are opportunities to also to discuss with peers, with colleagues about contemporary themes from our own disciplinary perspectives. I think perhaps we should say something about the way, the process of application of the courses. Do you have a slide on that, Orla?
I do, Luca, at the end, however. Okay, do you want to do that now? Yes, just a moment, I'll go down to it.
because colleagues who want to apply for VIU must submit 3 courses, and these 3 courses must fall into either a core course or a specialization track. Core courses are more defined in terms of content, but specialization tracks are more broad areas, so allows some room, some flexibility in suggesting courses that are come from the discipline in which you teach.
Okay, thank you, Luca.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Luca? Sorry.
No, I'm okay. Okay. That's about it.
Thank you so much. So as Luca already mentioned, we have this co-curricular program, and so all of our efforts in building the globalization program are to achieve a really quality and original experience for the students and the professors participating in the program. So the academics are of a very high standard. The classroom experience is different for the reasons that we have illustrated. The co-curricular program really contributes to this, to the community, to the scientific community and the social community that develops on the island of San Salvador. So we, in the early 2000s, when we realized that students weren't understanding or connecting particularly well with the city, because they stay for, the visiting students stay for a relatively short time, we introduced the co-curricular program, and it has become a very valuable resource also in the courses. So professors teaching have the opportunity to request site visits or any other relevant activities in the city and in the Veneto, in the hinterland, to add value to their courses and take teaching out into the field. And as Luca said, this can we can think well beyond the art and culture, the very rich art and culture that the city offers. Now, this is a new opportunity in 2022. It will be evaluated from September, and then we will issue a call for new proposals. So for any professors who may find it difficult to be away from their university or department for a full semester, we have this new summer session opportunity. The target of students is more or less the same, although we hope to encourage students from the sciences also to come for the summer session at VIU. And the course, the courses are quite intensive, concentrated into 1 month. To illustrate the range that has been of courses that has been selected by the Academic Council, these are the courses that were approved for 2022. So in terms of the approval process, as Luca mentioned, we will share the slides with you, there is a deadline for submitting proposals. And these are submitted by professors in the member universities to their representative in the Academic Council, who for Ljubljana is Professor Vidmar Horvat, and to the Dean of VIU. They are then discussed in the meetings of the Academic Council, which has a member from each member institution. Now, I will move on to the intensive graduate activities, and I'm just checking for time. So I will be quite brief here in the introduction to then allow Hilda Manino to give her experience from a scientific and teaching perspective. So whereas the globalization program has existed in some form since 1997, the intensive graduate activities emerged from the need, the interest of the member universities to cooperate also in intensive programs on a more advanced level. So going towards the research area. So we had already introduced summer schools, so VIU summer schools in 2012. Previously we had hosted some, but these are where the Academic Council is encouraging, the members through the Academic Council encourages cooperation of colleagues in to promote intensive activity at VIU. Then, with the success of the summer schools, we've extended into PhD academies and graduate seminars. So the PhD academies are interdisciplinary workshops. They're usually 1 week long, and we have a parallel training program for proactive research career development. This means that the students have training, the participants have training in transversal skills. It is for, in fact, I'll go on to the next slide where these definitions are more clearly illustrated. I think this is probably better. So as I was saying, the PhD Academy, it's for advanced PhD candidates and young researchers. So they may have already defended their thesis and be starting their research career. The intention is to start to build networks of young researchers across the membership of VIU on topics of joint interest of the universities. Each PhD Academy has a budget of €25,000, and this contributes to, this is used then to fund the international travel and the accommodation expenses of the visiting lecturers and students. The graduate seminar is similar in length and in terms of organization, so in length and in budget, but it is addressed to more junior researchers, so early career doctoral students, and possibly master's students if appropriate, but master's students who are who intend continuing their research and applying for doctoral studies. The intention is to support these students in designing their research and focusing their research question for their thesis. The summer schools, on the other hand, are maybe repeated each year. Most of them are. We now have, I think, 9 or 10 in 2022. We have quite a range of opportunities. And these summer schools may involve the participation of both professors and students outside the VIU membership. So it is an opportunity for VIU to involve relevant scientists and researchers, but also to, in some way, export the excellence of VIU also to other partners. So in the 2022 calendar, we have, which is rather intensive also because many activities were postponed because of the pandemic from 2020 to 2021. So we will have 4 PhD academies, 4 graduate seminars, and 11 winter and summer schools. I take this opportunity, although we wish to invite you to propose new intensive graduate activities, but also to disseminate the opportunity to participate in these 2-year students and researchers. I would invite Hilda Manino now to add her contribution in terms of interdisciplinarity and the experience of teaching before we talk about the submissions.
I would like to ask if we have just a briefly presentation, that then we would have time for discussion.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you, Katia. Dobar dan, and thank you again for having organized this meeting. So just focusing on the opportunities for the professors from the intensive graduate activities. As Orla said, the idea is to promote exchange also at research level. So the idea is that if you have in mind a topic on which you want to start or to strengthen and enlarge a cooperation with the members of the VIU network, this is the right place where to propose an activity. And the idea is that they have to be interdisciplinary, as in the case of the globalization program. So you should also be open to some kind of contamination with other perspectives. And this is what the students really appreciate. So to have an activity that put them in contact with professors also from other disciplines and also students from other disciplines that study the same topic but from different perspectives. And as suggestions, what the students really appreciate, and so what make these activities really successful is to give room also for discussions and questions. So not just frontal lectures, but really discuss with the student that, as said, are at least master students at the thesis level. And time also for presentations by students that wants also to get feedback from peers and from other scholars on their own research. And also in this case, Venice can be a very nice laboratory for several site visits on several topics. And last but not least, the transversal skills that are one key feature of the PhD academies are really appreciated. So no matter that we are increasing the number of them, but students are asking more and more. For some of them is really the first occasion to have some structured offered of skills that are not those that are usually taught to researchers. So like how to communicate your research to a wide public, or how to present your research to some funders and so on. So these are all key elements important for the presentation of your proposal and for building the program. But again, the starting point is think about what topic you are interested in to build a connection within the VIU member network. And that's all from my side. So I will leave the room for questions if there are. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilda. Thank you very much. Now, we have several deadlines for the different types of activities. We have an extra submission window for PhD academies and graduate seminars for March 15th. Also for 2023. Also for the summer and winter schools for 2023. Then another deadline in September 15th. As I said, we'll share these slides, so you'll have all the information. The evaluation criteria also you will find in the presentation. So this is the order of priority defined by the Academic Council for evaluating proposals. We have integrated some blended activities or virtual components. The experience of the past 2 years has led to trying to give continuity to the opportunities that technology provides for extending engagement. So not substituting the engagement on campus, which continues to be really important and a defining part of the experience, but providing an extension of it. Now I will skip to our final slide here with all of the deadlines. So the call, there are guidelines on our website of how to propose the graduate activities. At time of proposal, you must have already 3 partner universities involved in the scientific coordination. So it is a joint submission, and we are available to support you in identifying partners for the proposal. But by those deadlines, you need to already have the preliminary team in place. Okay, so I'd end now here so that we're able to answer some questions.
Orla and Tilna, thank you very much for your presentation. We already have one question from Professor Milena Mileva-Blažić from our Faculty of Education. Professor Milena, would you like to ask yourself? Okay, so she already wrote me in the chat, so
I could ask.
Yeah, okay.
I was muted, Katja, sorry. I would like to ask you, I teach at Faculty of Education. My main field is humanities, literary science, but I'm one of the experts for folk and fairy tradition. And I'm just thinking about maybe to apply or participate in some program or mobility about Resian fairy tales. I don't know if you are familiar that in Frulia, Venezia, Giulia, we have 700 people that spoke Resian dialect, but they are very influenced by Italian, folk and fairy tale, German and Slovenian. And if you're interested about folk and fairy tales in time of globalization, or if you have somebody else, we could join and prepare something interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. Perhaps Luca Pes might wish to offer a comment in relation to the history and memory studies, perhaps. Luca, are you there?
Yes, I mean, it's different if we are thinking about creating like a research network or some post-graduate seminars on the topic. Certainly, this topic could fit in the globalization program. It's a very fascinating. It's very fascinating to see through these from folklore as well. Now, where is folklore going in the age of globalization, and how much the folklore of certain countries is being also exported to other countries. But I mean, yes, on the Eurasian, it's a very narrow. It's a very narrow topic, but we have had also in the past things related to, for example, how, well, this semester we had a course on the Gothic and how the Gothic tales have been declined in the age of globalization and have become part of Hollywood and also Disney, for example. So that's certainly we can see how, I mean, whether if it's only concentrated regionally, it becomes more difficult, but if it becomes something comparative, maybe we can find some colleagues around, yes.
We are just working on project on comparative analysis of folk and fairy tales, but not on traditional way of thinking, but absolutely on modern. And we try to develop verbal and also visual literacy and folk and fairy tales, not just for children, but as crossover, and also folk and fairy tales in music, in films, in different culture. We could compare, for example, contemporary folk and fairy tales in different media and as an artwork, for example, in picture books. Thank you.
Yeah, that's potentially very multidisciplinary.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Luca.
And if I may add, also adding some information that can be useful for everybody, if you would like to have an intensive graduate activities on this, the process should be check if there are some colleagues from other member institutions that could be interested. And in case you couldn't find anyone, you could also ask us to facilitate the connection. So we are always glad to facilitate the link between our members. But yes, it's always useful to start checking if you have already some colleagues with whom you participate, usually on the topic, or if there is someone that you would like to start a collaboration with.
Okay. Thank you, Ilda. Thank you.
Morda še kakšno drugo vprašanje?
I would have a question if it's possible.
Yes.
So how is that at the level of Ljubljana University legally supported? Meaning, how is that related to our overall teaching? How is that relating legally to our, what in Slovenian we call obremenitve? Is that completely separate? And how we negotiate that with our home faculty? Is it just completely outside of the structure and it needs to be negotiated at the level of sabbaticals or?
Zdaj, v bistvu nekateri učitelji, ki poučujejo na VIU, koristijo sobotno leto Naši učitelji, se pravi učitelji UL, pa so do zdaj vedno tako upravljali obveznosti, da so upravljali vse obveznosti tudi na domači institucije, se pravi na akademiji, fakulteti. Bomo delili z vami tudi ta osnutek, ni osnutek, no, navodila, ki so trenutno pripravljena, so tudi objavljena na naši spletni strani, kjer je tudi navedeno, kaj se pričakuje od posameznega učitelja. Tako kot sem omenila, se pravi, pričakujejo se vse obveznosti, da jih opravite in na UL in potem na VIU. Tudi morda bi to poudarila, da na VIU zelo prizadevajo izvesti aktivnosti v živo, tako da če situacija dopušča, dejansko se pač pričakuje, da ste tudi profesorji potem prisotni na VIU v času izvedbe aktivnosti. Mislim, da to ni bilo omenjeno. Naši učitelji so običajno bili na VIU, tako predavajo ali ponedeljek, sreda ali torek, četrtek. Vmes so pa tudi, v bistvu oni imajo redne sestanke za učitelji, tudi vmesno ocenjevanje študentov, v bistvu se ves čas spremlja, evalvira, prilagaja program, tako da je ta dodatni dan namenjen tudi tem sestankom. Ja, tako da načeloma se pač pričakuje, to govorim zdaj za program globalizacije, ne, zdaj ostale aktivnosti so pa itak izvedene potem strnjeno, ne, se pravi 2 do 5 dni oziroma poletni seminarji, ki bodo trajali 4 tedne. Ja, je pa se pravi predvideno, tako kot smo tudi predstavili, pri določenih aktivnosti plačilo, pogodbo boste sklenili direktno z VIU, zdaj s sodelavkami iz kadrovske službe bomo tudi pripravili še neke dodatne dopolnitve pa informacije še v zvezi z ostalimi aktivnostmi, zdaj trenutno je samo za program globalizacije pripravljena informacija, se pa seveda še odpirajo tudi nove stvari, ker se tudi aktivnosti nadgrajujejo.
Katja, če smem samo, to our colleagues in Venice were just trying to clarify some formal and legal commitments and burdens on part of our university. In bom zdaj povedala tako malo bolj na kratko. Torej, ja, Aljoša, to pomeni v resnici dvojno obremenitev, ne? In ko je prej Katja vam povedala, da se morate s svojimi vodstvi članic dogovoriti, v resnici se morate dogovoriti glede urnikov. Sicer pa ne smejo vodstva od vas zahtevati kakšnih izjav o konfliktu interesov, ker to ne sodi v to klauzulo, ne? Ker smo mi pridružena članica te mreže in tukaj ne gre za konflikt interesov, ne sodelujete na ustanovi, ki bi mogoče posegala v te interese Univerze v Ljubljani, ampak v resnici ja, je to dvojna obremenitev, zato je smiselno, da se pač tako urnik organizira, kot je Katja rekla, v enem semestru poskušate obveznosti opraviti na Univerzi v Ljubljani, drug semester gostujete v Benetkah, ker je pravzaprav fizična vožnja gor in dol skorajda nemogoč projekt. Kar bi rada povedala je, da se zavedamo, da je ta naša dvojna obremenitev velik problem za sodelovanje v tej mreži. Druge univerze imajo to urejene bolj elegantno s sobotnim letom in mi poskušamo zdaj v tem kontekstu razmišljati tudi, kako bi uredili sobotno leto na ravni Univerze v Ljubljani, ne samo kot formalno možnost, ampak tudi kako praktično omogočiti predavateljem, da izpeljejo to sobotno leto, kar pomeni nadomestne zaposlitve in tako naprej, habilitacije. Skratka, precej zapleteno vprašanje, ampak samo toliko, če vas lahko pomirim, delamo v tej smeri. Najverjetneje pa za vašo generacijo, če se boste letos ali pa prihodnje leto prijavljali, ste še vedno pod to pezo dvojne obremenitve, razen če najdete rešitev pač na vaši članici, da vas ne to nadomešča.
Prorektorica, hvala. Mogoče še kakšno vprašanje glede aktivnosti VIU? Zdaj, če ni drugih vprašanj, bi vas samo želela opomniti na roke, se pravi, zdaj so pomembni roki. Ja?
Še eno vprašanje bi imela. Kamera mi žal ne dela, tako da se opravičujem, no, da se ne pokažem z obrazom. Jaz imam majhnega otroka, mislim majhnega 5 let, ne bom se prijavljala letos, ampak na splošno me zanima, to pač gre za nastanitev, pravzaprav samo za profesorja, ki pride tja za recimo en semester, ni pa poskrbljeno za karkoli drugega, recimo, mislim, ne govorimo o vrtcu ali pa karkoli, ampak o nekih možnostih, da pridejo tja družina, še te stvari.
To pa ne bi vedela, bomo vprašali Orla. So, Orla, we have one question from our professor about the possibility to reside at the VIU together with the family. Did you have any such case?
Sure, of course. So our offices provide support services to all of our professors, including organizing accommodation. Professors may wish to organize their own accommodation, and they receive a travel and housing allowance to contribute to these costs. But we can also either coordinate through agencies that we know in the city, or give them directly the contact of the agencies if they prefer. We have had professors visit in the past with their families, and also with their children joining them. And also children who have then enrolled in local schools. And so enrolling in local public schools is rather difficult for a short period, but there are some private schools in the area that where other professors have had good experiences. And primary schools would generally be taught through Italian, but there are both middle and senior level schools, superior level schools, international schools in this area. Okay, so there's a good range of opportunities for professors and their families.
Thank you very much for this surprisingly elaborate and positive answer.
Je morda še kakšno vprašanje? Okay, so is there no more questions? I would like to thank two colleagues from the VIU, Professor Pes, Orla, and Tilda, also to our Vice Rector for today's presentation, and to Dr. Kašerević to share his experience regarding teaching in the VIU. Ukolikor bi pa imeli še kakršnakoli vprašanja, se lahko obrnete name. Tukaj sem pa prej hotela samo še enkrat omeniti, se pravi, zdaj so najbolj pomembni roki, ki so odprti za prijave 15. marec in pa 15. september. Za določene aktivnosti so pa različni roki, tako da zdaj po sami predstavitvi ali danes ali pa jutri oziroma tekom tega tedna bomo z vsemi vami tudi delili posnetek predstavitve in pa PPT predstavitev in pa seveda za vsa vaša dodatna vprašanja in pojasnila smo vam pa na voljo. Tako da hvala vsem in uspešno delo še naprej. Prorektorica, bi želela še vi kaj dodati? Ne. Potem se pa poslavljamo in gremo na...
Pozdraviti, ampak pozdraviti, spodbuditi, kljub temu, da sem vam omenila, da je to dvojno breme, je vredno, po moje vas moram na ta način opogumiti in upam, da bomo v prihodnjem letu potem lahko delili tudi z vami že izkušnje predavanja. Thank you also to our colleagues in Venice, and I'm looking forward to future meetings online or in person. Thank you very much to all.
Pa morda še enkrat, če imate kakšne študente, študentke, da jih spodbudite k prijavi oziroma da jih usmerite na nas za več informacij. Tako da zdaj pa se res poslavljamo in vas lepo pozdravljamo. Adijo.
Hvala, nasvidenje.
Bye.
Bye.